In America, when a dispute turns serious, you go to court. But across Brooklyn, thousands of Orthodox Jewish families bring their business conflicts, divorces, and inheritance questions before a centuries-old religious tribunal called the Beis Din, a house of judgment operating inside one of the most modern cities on earth. How it works, why communities choose it, and where its authority ends, that's where this story begins. To understand this system, one must look at its foundational structure. The term Beis Din translates from Hebrew as a house of judgment. These rabbinical tribunals operate according to halakha, the body of Jewish law that guides religious, commercial, and personal conduct. Rather than a single arbiter, a Beis Din typically functions as a panel of 3 rabbinic judges, known as dayanim. These dayanim are ordained scholars who have spent years studying yeshiva texts and religious jurisprudence. While they handle a variety of civil matters, the court also oversees personal status issues. This includes issuing a get, the religious divorce document required under Jewish law to dissolve a marriage. This structured framework serves as the baseline for resolving disputes, relying on voluntary participation and established legal tradition to maintain communal life. The Beis Din operates as a functional court with an active daily calendar. In Brooklyn's Orthodox neighborhoods, rabbinic judges manage a wide variety of routine civil and commercial matters. Merchants bring disputes over kosher certification contracts. Families seek resolutions to complex inheritance questions. Business partners present contract disagreements arising from local commerce. For these civil and financial disputes, the process follows a structured legal path. First, both parties must sign a formal arbitration agreement, voluntarily submitting their dispute to the tribunal. This document forms an essential link to secular law. Under the Federal Arbitration Act and New York's Civil Practice Law and Rules Article 75, this agreement converts the religious proceeding into a legally binding arbitration. Once the claim is filed, the dayanim hold a formal hearing. Both sides present evidence, submit documents, and offer testimony. After evaluating the facts, the dayanim deliberate and issue a written ruling known as a pisak. Because the parties signed a valid arbitration agreement before the hearing, this rabbinic ruling is enforceable in secular New York civil courts. This framework ensures that the decisions of the Beis Din integrate directly into the broader American legal system, operating as a private, legally recognized alternative for dispute resolution. Orthodox Jewish law contains a strong traditional expectation that civil disputes between community members should be resolved within a rabbinical court rather than secular civil courts. This religious expectation, rooted in ancient legal codes, frames dispute resolution as an internal communal duty. For residents and business owners in Brooklyn neighborhoods like Flatbush, Crown Heights, or Borough Park, choosing a Beis Din is a natural decision driven by both faith and daily practicality. One major factor is cultural and religious familiarity. The rabbinic judges, or dayanim, understand the specific customs of the community, such as local real estate practices, kosher industry standards, and informal agreements sealed with a handshake. A secular court would require expert witnesses to explain these traditions, whereas a Beis Din understands them immediately. This familiarity allows the judges to evaluate cases with a high degree of local context. Speed is another practical advantage, particularly for Brooklyn's small businesses. Civil lawsuits in New York state courts can drag on for years, stalling transactions and accumulating high legal fees. A Beis Din can often convene within days or weeks, offering a faster, less expensive path to a resolution that keeps local commerce moving. Privacy is also highly valued. Public civil court filings are accessible to anyone, which can damage reputations and business relationships. Beis Din sessions are private, helping families and business owners keep sensitive financial or personal matters out of public view. This privacy helps prevent communal fallout in tightly knit Brooklyn neighborhoods where residents live, work, and worship side by side. In these areas, preserving ongoing relationships is essential for social stability. The process aims to resolve conflicts in a way that allows disputing parties to continue interacting, maintaining their social, family, and commercial connections within the community long after the final decision is issued. The most sensitive personal status issue within this framework centers on the eguna, a term meaning a chained woman. Under Jewish law, a marriage is only religiously dissolved when the husband voluntarily presents a get. If he refuses, the woman remains legally bound under halakha, unable to remarry. Media profiles, including a Vogue feature on Flatbush resident Chava Herman Sharabani, have documented the profound emotional toll of being trapped in a dead marriage for over a decade. To address get refusal, communities utilize distinct, lawful pathways. Preventatively, many couples now sign a halachic prenuptial agreement, such as the model supported by the Rabbinic Council of America, which establishes a civilly enforceable financial obligation for each day a get is withheld. If a dispute occurs, a Beis Din may issue a siyarov, a formal document of non-compliance. This allows communities to apply lawful social pressure, such as denying synagogue honors, withholding burial rights, or organizing peaceful public protests. These legitimate religious and communal processes are strictly separate from illegal actions carried out by private individuals. In 2013, federal law enforcement dismantled a kidnapping ring led by Mendel Epstein, which used extortion and physical violence to force husbands into granting divorces. Federal courts prosecuted and convicted these individuals, demonstrating that unlawful physical coercion is treated as a criminal conspiracy, completely outside the bounds of authorized Beis Din procedures. Secular legal remedies also serve as an essential backstop. Advocacy groups like Sanctuary for Families and the Jewish Orthodox Feminist Alliance work within the American legal system, helping victims secure civil judgments and financial penalties against non-compliant spouses. This framework ensures that while religious traditions are respected, secular courts maintain the ultimate authority over public safety and civil rights. While New York civil courts routinely enforce rabbinical arbitration awards, they do not write a blank check. Under Article 75 of the state's Civil Practice Law and Rules, secular judges serve as the ultimate checkpoint. If a party challenges a Beis Din ruling, the civil court reviews the decision to ensure it adheres to basic legal standards and respects public policy. In cases like Bain versus Strulovich, New York courts intervened when a rabbinical tribunal's commercial ruling crossed into active civil litigation. Similarly, judges have vacated religious child support awards that failed to meet state guidelines. These legal challenges define the outer boundaries of religious arbitration. Under American law, the Beis Din remains a voluntary forum, and secular judges retain the final authority on whether any disputed civil award stands. The Beis Din operates strictly as a voluntary religious arbitration forum, without the powers of a governmental body or a criminal court. It possesses no criminal jurisdiction and cannot enforce criminal penalties or physical punishments. This framework is not exclusive to the Jewish faith. Under the Federal Arbitration Act, other communities across the United States use similar systems. Christian mediation forums, such as the Institute for Christian Conciliation, and Islamic arbitration councils in states like Texas and California, resolve civil and commercial disputes under the exact same American legal standards of voluntary consent. To explore the legal records, court challenges, and investigative reporting regarding religious arbitration tribunals, refer to the source links provided in the description below. Ultimately, the Beis Din thrives not by replacing American law, but by adapting to it. As Brooklyn's communities grow, this delicate balance between ancient faith and secular justice remains vital. The system's future depends on preserving both religious freedom and individual rights. Share your thoughts in the comments.